not anymore. No one said that this would get easy. No one said this wouldn't get hard. Brush it off and roll up your sleeves now. It's a shot in the dark till you get what you want.
Boom! Welcome on back to Spike College Football Show with your boy Johnny B. 35-20, went 3-6 this week on units only go up. It's all right. I went 10-2 the week before. 35-20 still means I can afford your house and you can't. Actually, I can't. I got to move out of Florida. That's not a big thing right now. Listen, got the kid. The kid's doing good. Kid's picking well. Still well over 500, 35-20, 15 games over. Things are happening. Tennessee's winning. UCLA is undefeated. Ole Miss is overrated. Everything is going on this week. It's like week 8, 9, 10. I don't really know. I didn't even do any coke yet. This is me just flowing. We're flowing. We're rolling. We're going. Let's go. What's up, boys? Welcome to week 8.
Fuck, turn down the heat, man. Turn down the heat.
Will Levis is still trash.
Yes, he is. But anybody who follows our Twitter would know about that.
Listen, guys, let me tell you real quick. A lot of things happened this week. A lot of things shaking up. I told you guys, huge letdown game with the Texas. I told you that was a letdown game. I told you they would win. I told you it'd be a letdown, and I told you they would win. I told you Oklahoma State was trash, and they lost. I tell you guys these things because I see other people doing like their blogs and their writing, and they're really good. They think they're good. It's really pretty. SEO. Really cool. Listen, I'm the man with the plan. I take shots at anybody. I'll take shots at you. I'll take shots at you. I'll take shots at you. You're in my company. You're not in my company. It doesn't matter because I'm still better.
I'll take a shot. Give me
I'm
a
brighter,
shot.
and I'll take a shot. Let's go. Take it up.
Well, I'm going to take a shot at you, Johnny. So what happened with USC there and Utah and Cam Rising?
You want me to get into that?
You specifically said Cam Rising can't win in the fourth quarter. And yes.
Well, he can't because if you actually watch the game, see these? Beautiful green eyes. Beautiful. Watch the whole game.
Right.
If you actually watch the game, USC was about to go up 21 points, and then a flag came in.
Right.
Out of nowhere.
Right.
And then, oh, wow, now the momentum's gone. Oh, wait, and then another flag came in the fourth quarter. Oh, and it took momentum again. And then another flag because he got tapped on his little shoulder after the – are you fucking kidding? That was 100% the refs. USC won that game. I don't care what you fucking say. They are the Pauly Shore of the Big Ten, but guess what? I think that proved to you guys, too, that USC is a real deal team. They're a real deal team. And Utah is not a good team. Cam Rising did not win that game. The only reason they were in that game –
He had to throw the touchdown in the two-point conversion, no?
Rob, I get it. I get it. That was great.
I'm just saying you said he couldn't even do that.
And I never used the refs as an excuse. That was the only reason they were in the game, and they shouldn't have been in the game.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
You could use all those same cases for the Tennessee-Alabama game.
No, because all those I watched again. Watch with the eyes. All of those calls were fine. I didn't see anything wrong.
They were fine. You could call.
They weren't as egregious as the USC calls.
But they clearly swung the game because I'm telling Alabama.
Let's not go here. No, it didn't swing the game.
Yes, it did. Alabama had the game in their hands. They were making the moves to turn that game, and the refs kept Tennessee in that game on third downs, on fourth downs. Mm-hmm. The refs changed the tide of that game.
Yeah, I don't think so because that fumble. If that's true, then that fumble should have cost Tennessee the game if they weren't in it without the refs, and it didn't because Tennessee said, "All right, cool."
No, because they were out. They were dead in the water on multiple plays, and the refs, the call, kept the drive going.
I know you're talking about like the one play they fucked up on. That should have been targeting on Bryce. That was 100% targeting to letter of the law. Targeting. Everything else. They were pass interference calls. Did they miss one on the Tennessee? Yeah, they did. But they missed that one on Tennessee. But that one that was called on Alabama on the third down, the ball down the sideline, I mean, that was pass interference. It's not my fault that they didn't call it before that. That was pass interference.
I mean, I'm not upset about the calls per se because my critique on Alabama is that when it comes to crunch time, we've seen this a few times this year. In crunch time, when the game matters, defensive backs making pass interference. plays.
Hey,
It's happened a
you
number
want
of
to know
times.
something? Alabama, Bryce Young is a hero, okay? Bryce Young balled the fuck out. Let's not overlook that. Hendon Hooker played amazing. Bryce Young played like a Heisman Trophy winner as well. He was hurt. He was out there balling. His defense couldn't help him for shit. The refs were against them. And they still only lost by a fucking field goal that barely made it over. So everyone's like, oh, Alabama, they have no defense. They don't. They do not have a good defense. Not
And
a
that's the
typical
thing.
Alabama defense. But they have Bryce Young, and everybody's going to be down on Alabama. And, you know, dude, Bryce Young is the real deal, and Alabama is going to be back, and they're going to have vengeance. Everybody's like, oh, it's the end of the era. Bro, they won on a field goal that barely made it over. Relax.
Well, it's an end of the era of Tennessee being irrelevant. So I think from here on out, as long as they have a good recruiting class after this, which they should.
They should.
They signed a 4-star right after the game.
Of course
they
they
did.
did.
Wearing that shit when I'm doing a podcast. I'm going to get hard.
We can't
You
see
know
your
what was even great? Hendon Hooker's backup, a fucking Samoan. Who's been listening to the show? Somebody in Tennessee to my ass, recruiting Samoan. What I tell you?
And I will say right now, I put up a blog on Gridiron Heroics. I want to have you guys take real quick while we're on the Tennessee game. Now, this was my critique. I did like a judge, jury, executioner type deal. I said, who now owns Dixieland Delight? That was my question. That was the title. Who is the owner? Well, I came up with arguments for Alabama, tradition, blah, blah. Alabama wrote the song, not the state, the band. But the song was about Tennessee and getting fucked in Tennessee in a car. So who owns the song? And what I said was Tennessee kind of made Alabama their little baby. Now Tennessee's their daddy, rocking them like that guy on Cleveland. Well, listen, I think that they should now make that game. It's the third Saturday of October. It should be the Dixieland Delight game. The winner owns the song for the entire year.
I mean, you could do the same thing.
Because they had that shit on repeat when they stormed the fucking field and took the goalpost and threw it in the river.
Yep.
And you know what? They cucked them. They cucked Alabama. Alabama cannot play that song now for the rest of the year. They cannot. And they cannot, with good faith, play that song.
So I like that. I feel like that should be a bigger thing that happens throughout college football because another song that is kind of up for debate is Tusk by Fleetwood Mac, which was written with the help of the USC marching band. So USC claims it, right? But Tusk obviously goes with Alabama and their mascot.
Alabama doesn't have their own songs.
And Arkansas Razorbacks because they got the Tusks. So I feel
there
like
should be a trophy war battle that you should have to play for the song.
Yeah, you should play for the song. Definitely Arkansas versus Alabama every year. I think that's easy.
Because they definitely.
We should do it for mascots too. We should just run the gamut with that.
Yep.
I mean, how can you honestly? When
I have the Tiger. Only one song, only one fucking team, only one fucking Tiger team because there's 5,000 of them in fucking college football. Only one of you gets Eye of the Tiger. Everybody else can fuck off.
And there should be a battle for it.
Yes,
but listen,
there should be.
Like you can't play that song in Alabama and do "Fuck Auburn" or whatever. They do that stupid. It's awesome if you've ever seen it. Dixieland Delight in Alabama is awesome, but it's not about Alabama. And then Tennessee played it on repeat while they were shitting on your grave and pissing on it. Like, you can't take that song this year. You can't go back this week and play it against Mississippi State. You can't do it. You can't do it.
It's bad form. It's bad juju.
That's bad couth.
It's bad couth. The least of the couth. Yes, I agree. 100%. All right. Why don't we? Okay, first of all, I think that's great. I definitely think we should do a draft on that. I don't think we can do it this week because honestly, we need 9 or 10 to choose from or more. So that'll be rough. But other than that, this was a pretty good week for college football, guys.
It was a fucking phenomenal week of college football. Hey, Miami won a football game. Hey.
Still didn't cover the spread, though.
Nebraska looked like they almost could win a football game. Hey.
Notre
Dame loses to Stanford. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, thanks for that, guys.
How do they beat the best team in the ACC Coastal and make them their bitch? Like, literally make them their bitch and then can't score more than 14 points against Stanford?
Because good coaching? No, I don't know. I have no idea.
And what else?
I mean, I will say Stanford had a couple games where they should have pulled it out. And this time they do in South Bend. So it was almost like at some point that other shoe was going to fall.
So let's talk real quick other games. I'm gonna get into it right now because I like to get into it on Twitter. I was the guy running the Twitter account this weekend. Fuck you, fans.
If you didn't notice.
Michigan. Let me get into it before I go to Kentucky because you motherfuckers are my bitch. Michigan. I'm about to make you my bitch even more. You're not a good team. Okay? You didn't play a good team because Penn State's not a good team. Okay? You're not good. All you can do is run the ball. It's really tough when you run the right, you run left, you run up the middle, and you get 12 yards of play. I mean, keep doing it. Awesome. I personally would stop that. If I was defensive coordinator, I would stop that.
Manny Diaz doesn't know how to.
I would put people
Ask the Miami
box
fan.
to stop that, especially when I know your quarterback can't throw the ball to save his life. But I would stop that. So, Michigan, you're not that good. Look at me in the eyes because I've been playing with you fuckers on Twitter. Look at me. You're not that good. You will lose to Ohio State by over 17 points because they can actually score and play defense. You're not that good. You haven't played anybody. And when you play Ohio State, you will get smoked. And then in a bowl game against the SEC team, you will get smoked. Thank you.
Can we also shut down the whole Blake Corum the third in terms of
How the fuck is people think he's a Heisman Trophy?
He is not. He's mid, very mid.
He's very mid. He can run the ball against Maryland. Wow. Maryland. Wow. Colorado State. Wow. Fucking, are you
Who
kidding
didn't win
me?
this week?
Are you
Yeah, I
kidding
know.
me?
Didn't win this week.
Guys,
Motherfucker.
Michigan take, before I go to the next Kentucky tape, Michigan take, am I completely wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. Actually, I know I'm not wrong. Well, that's because I wrote a blog saying Michigan still sucks. And people got upset about it because I literally laid out, I mean, if you just stop the run, which isn't hard to stop the run, you just put more guys in the box. And
Again, ask any Texas or Miami fan. Manny Diaz doesn't know how to stop the run. Oh, God.
Did we ask him?
Dude, your dog just creeped in the back.
Yeah, he did.
Whoa. Whoa.
He hates Michigan
It went
too.
slow-mo. It went
He was just
slow-mo
like-
just for that. That was great.
Oh.
Now, is
He's
there any other
tweeting right
Michigan
now.
takes before I move on to my next fan base that I would like to bash, please? Any other Michigan takes?
No, we talk about the other blue team.
Okay, another team I'll talk about. Hey, we're not going to go there yet. We're going to go to Kentucky. Listen, little bitches, I'm coming for you. Not yet. Utah. Yes, you won. Congratulations. Listen, guys, you're Mormon. You don't fuck. You soak. You don't even drink soda. You're not a real man.
You're
Well,
talking
I'm
to the
not-
wrong Utahns. These are
No,
the ones
they're all
that
the same.
suck.
Listen,
They're all
I'm generalizing. I'm generalizing right now. Just let me go on my diatribe. I'm going to do what I want right now. Utah, fuck you. You don't even have bars in Salt Lake City. You're terrible. You're ugly. I don't like you. You're not that good. You're overrated. And I will give you credit, Utah, when you can win a game outside of Salt Lake City that's like a bajillion miles fucking into the earth. Like, it's hard to play a game when you're fucking 17,000 fucking miles above the fucking water level. I don't even know what it's called right now because I'm on one right now. Sea level. It's called sea level, baby. Sea level. No one cares because you can't win away from there, and you never could. So fuck you, Utah. Anybody want to chime in on Utah?
No, I just said that they were going to fuck with the Pac-12, and they have. So there you go.
I just don't think you had to go that hard on Utah. I mean, we could have got the
I'm
point
happy right
across.
now.
You went pretty.
I told you I was
you
on
went
one.
hard on.
I told you I was on one today.
I feel like Utah are nice folks and didn't deserve that.
That's cute.
And I also think a lot of people are overlooking this loss as not a significant one when the Pac-12 in the coming weeks is
Oh,
going to
I wrote
devour
a
them.
blog about this too, Tyler. The Pac-12 has
God
UCLA, and that's it.
Yeah,
UCLA is their only chance to make the playoff.
exactly.
Yep.
It's
And
like in my Big 12 Power Rankings blog, which you should read on Gridiron Heroics. My first statement is, this was a bad week if you're a Pac-12 fan.
'Cause it's just like Brandon Walker thinks that they should overlook this loss, win the Big 12, and they're magically in. I'm like, no, you got UCLA and you got Oregon. Well, Oregon's more insignificant with just Bo Nix and somewhat of a defense, but it's UCLA or bust if you're team Big 12 or team.
And I'm not saying that that's right, but that's how the voters do it in the playoffs. Like that's how the playoff committee sees the Pac-12. Even though low key, when I rank the rankings of the conferences, you guys know it's SEC, it's Big 12, then it's Pac-12 for me. And I think that it's going to be bad that they're going to overlook a one-loss team, but that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is UCLA will beat Oregon this week. They'll lose to USC. USC will win out. They'll have one loss, and then they won't take USC. They won't do it. Anybody want to comment on the Pac-12? Because I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in on it.
I feel like they will give USC a chance. I feel like they'll give USC a chance because it's USC. If it was UCLA, I feel like they're more willing to give a chance on a blue blood, right? Like fucking USC. Everyone wants USC to be back.
That's fair, but the loss to Utah.
The loss, yes, exactly. The loss to Utah matters here.
That's
it does matter. I'm just saying that knowing
you can't lose to a team that lost to Florida and make the playoff. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's an SEC school though.
Yeah,
if
but
they're
they're like this much better than Vanderbilt. They're this much better than Vanderbilt this year.
Oh,
y'all
no,
are
I
like
know.
tearing up our triple Q section.
All right, I'm going to go there. If you guys are done, I'm going to go there.
Are we going to Triple Q now?
No, I think he's going to Kentucky.
No.
I think that's what he wanted.
I know he is. I just didn't know if that was going to be his one quarterback. I was going to laugh my ass off if that was his one quarterback.
Buckle up, bitches. Hey, Kentucky fans. How are you? How are you doing? You doing good? Listen, you guys are blue. You want to know why? Because you guys used to fuck each other's cousins and you were blue because you turned your skin color blue because you're a bunch of cousin fucking losers. Listen here. You're blue people. You have blue in your jersey. Will Levis is probably a really nice guy. Probably loves his mommy. Probably loves his daddy. He's not a first-round pick. He's a great thrower of screens. You have a great running game. Chris Rodriguez, fantastic. Defense, awesome. Big win against Mississippi State. They should have beat you, but they didn't. So you won the game. Congratulations. I'm not even mad about that. I'm mad about that you think Will Levis can throw the ball down the field. Because with these green eyes, these beautiful green eyes, not your blue eyes, because you people fuck each other's cousins. No, these green eyes show me he can't throw the ball 7 yards down the field on third and 7. He can't do it. He throws screen passes, which sometimes work. Oh, well, he was 17 for 23 for 222 yards. Did you see that long pass down the field? Yeah, he underthrew him by about 10 yards on a 50-yard pass where he was 20 yards open, and he underthrew him by 10. So, shit, JC could have caught that if Rob threw it. No offense to you guys. You guys are good athletes. I'm just saying. He's not good. He cannot throw the ball down the field. He throws bubble screens. It's not just me, guys. Okay? I don't have a vendetta against Will Levis. I have a vendetta against stupidity and against people who think people are better. Oh, well, he's the next Josh Allen. What? What are we doing? What? He's Josh. He might be Josh Rosen. He might be DeMarcus Ware. Jamarcus Russell. He might be fucking Sam Darnold. He might be Mark Sanchez. He might be Dan McGuire, which you guys don't even know about. Huge arm. He might be Ryan Leaf.
I was going to say Ryan Leaf.
He's Josh Allen. What? What? What are we doing? Are they like? How many cousins do you have to fuck to become that stupid?
Leave Will Levis alone.
I gotta clip that. I gotta fucking clip that.
I'm not even mad. Like I said, probably a good Christian boy. I like it. Will Levis, probably a great guy. I'm not here to bash Will Levis. I'm here to bash Kentucky fans. Why don't you go take care of the kid?
Jesus Christ. Well, I love it. I love it. Just leave Will Levis alone.
They might have an argument if Will Levis actually overthrows people and he drastically underthrows to them, and it's hilarious.
It would be incredibly epic if somehow we could get him on the show.
But guys, can you understand that I'm not like I don't ever bash him personally. I don't bash his play. I bash his play, but I don't bash him to like in a personal way. You know what I mean? Like I just bash how people view him.
Yeah.
He is a great college quarterback if you want to throw bubble screens. Probably the best to ever do it. If you want to do a levels package where you have one at 7, one at 12, and one at 18, he ain't hitting the 18.
Nope.
He ain't hitting the 12. He's probably gonna hit the 3. You know, little tight end sneaking out on the levels. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. That's what I see. And it's not just me. I know you guys feel the same. Go ahead. I'll talk about this. You guys can take it on.
This is hysterical, man. You do it every week, but every week they keep coming back for more because they say this proves that Will Levis is a good quarterback.
That's because every week he goes 17 for 23. Well, look at his QBR. Look at his completion percentage. What? Without that 50-yard pass, he threw for 170 yards on 16 throws. What are we doing? The 50-yard pass, that was 10 yards underthrown.
So they have other stats for this. I don't think you need to engage in it, but there is a stat for air yards, right? How far the pass goes through the air before it is caught. But again, I would never waste such time on Kentucky fans. It's not worth it.
They're just cousin fucking assholes, and they need to be put in their place. This is Tim Couch 2.0. Remember what happened to him, boys and girls? Remember what happened to him, Kentucky fans? That's right. I come with the heat. I come with the knowledge. I just brought out Tim Couch. I brought out Dan McGuire, who you don't even know because you're fucking.
Anyway,
listen, I don't want to
like we can top that.
Johnny B, you can keep on cracking at those Kentucky fans. I don't want to bash them too bad because I want to keep some Kentucky relationships. Got great whitetail deer out there, so I don't want to get like banned from the state just because.
Take it to Ohio or Illinois or Missouri. No one gives a fuck about Kentucky. Same goddamn deer. They just migrate.
They
I
do
hope we
indeed.
take your coach and make you irrelevant, Kentucky fans. Because when Mark Stoops leaves, you'll just
they're gonna go back to it. It's gonna be terribly sad.
I'm gonna be very surprised
Congratulations
if he
on the
leaves.
Gator
He's
Bowl
been around a
appearance
long
this
time.
year, guys. Congratulations on winning the Gator Bowl.
He's
21-17
just been around for
against
so
NC
long.
State. That's what's going to happen. They're going to win the Gator Bowl 21-17 against fucking NC State. Rodriguez will have 200 yards rushing for 2 touchdowns. Will Levis will have a rushing touchdown. Oh my God, it'll be the first pick. Look at him run the ball like Josh Allen.
So I think is the bigger question. So we'll stay on Kentucky. I'll let you keep going. Is the bigger question like, are they all high on Will Levis, or is it that they actually think that their program is going to make a turn here?
No, what they are high on, I don't even think it's Will Levis. It's not a personal thing. They're just happy. They're Kentucky basketball fans, which their players are always the best. And doesn't matter who they are, they're always the best. So they finally have a good quarterback. Well, he's got to be the greatest of all time. They did the same thing with Tim Couch in the 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s. He's just a good quarterback. Like, bro, I even said, like, you want to know who's a great quarterback? Like, Sam Hartman is a great quarterback. TVD, that's an NFL-style quarterback who's not even having a good year. Those are good quarterbacks that will go in the draft. Your boy is a good college quarterback for that system. He is a system quarterback. That's it.
But they can't rely. It's not enough because as
It's not
Kentucky
enough for
fans,
them. He's got to be the best.
right? Because it's Kentucky.
And they never talk about how
Kentucky
they have,
basketball.
like one of the best running backs in the country. Chris Rodriguez is one of the best running backs in the country, and they don't give him any love. You want to know why? Well, because he's not a white boy. I'm just saying, Kentucky fans.
You went there.
You know how you are. You fucking
You know how you
cousin
are.
fucking blue-skinned motherfucker.
I like their other running back too. Smoke, isn't
Kavosiey
it? Like
Smoke.
Kavosiey's. It's the best fucking name I have ever heard for a human being.
And they don't talk about him. They got to talk about Will Levis
Yeah, well, because he's
because he's white.
and reasonably good looking, right?
I mean,
That's
he's
all we need.
cute. No, you want to know something? Hey, Will, come here, buddy. You cute. I'll give you that. You cute. You ain't an NFL
can't-
quarterback, but you cute. You're gonna work.
You-
You're gonna be a fucking star in Kentucky the rest of your life, selling at an auto dealership, Will Levis Chevrolet,
Well,
because you're cute. But you're not an NFL quarterback.
Ooh.
Oh my
He's
God.
better
shit.
looking than me. He'll have more success in life than me. Come at me, Kentucky fans. I don't care. He ain't gonna play quarterback in the NFL. Okay?
You heard it here
If we're-
first. Will Levis Chevrolet.
We should trademark that shit, and then he has to pay us to get his name
Oh.
back.
Let's just do them all. Take Buick. We'll take all of them from him.
Yeah,
No,
we
he's a
got-
Chevy guy. He
Yep.
looks like a Chevy guy.
Well, like if
I
you're
feel
doing
like
Chevy,
Kentucky
you're-
Chevrolet is the way to go.
chances
Yeah,
are you're
because they
doing
fucked their customers.
Jeep, Chrysler, GM, all sorts. You gotta get all of them. You know, all them fucking names.
All right.
Not
Anyway, we can
Ford.
move on.
I think we're okay if we leave Will Levis Ford alone. I feel like
Well, that's
we'll be
not a GM product. You just gotta get all the GM ones.
All right, we can
Yeah,
move
we'll
off
just
to
take-
Kentucky shit if you want, guys.
okay.
Because
We'll just take all
by the
of
way-
GM.
hey, by the way, another fraud ass SEC school is playing them this week. Ole Miss is actually Syracuse is probably the second biggest fraud
It's on an
undefeated team.
SEC school.
No, they're the second biggest fraud team school. Let me talk. Syracuse is the second biggest fraud team in America. Next to this SEC school, which is Ole Miss, is a fraud. They are a fraud. They should not be 6-0. They're going to get fucking piped in fucking LSU. They're not a good team. You don't let Auburn hang around in the fourth quarter at home. Auburn. And then let fucking the week before have Vanderbilt winning at half. What are we doing? Ole Miss is not a good team. They're not a good team.
All right. First of all, let's talk about our actual picks from last week, because we've mentioned some of them, but I feel like I would be remiss if I did not put up our new records.
Hey guys, see what that is? That means Will Levis is not going to be an NFL player because I don't get anything wrong.
Well, you don't get any locks wrong. You did pick South Alabama. Well done. They only won by 7, but hey.
But I picked a team called South Alabama because I'm a genius.
I mean, a few of us went for teams that were a little harder to find, right, JC?
And it didn't pan out.
You literally called it as you picked it. You're like, oh, they're playing a team that we do like to say is good for the upset.
The upset team, and
Who
then
did he
they
pick?
fucking did it. I did James,
James
Madison,
Madison.
over Georgia Southern.
You're an asshole.
Yeah,
Never bet
Um,
against Georgia.
yeah.
And then
Uh,
fucking Coastal Carolina lost to Old Dominion, another one of those teams
It
you
was-
literally
yeah,
pointed
we-
out with your pick.
We can't. Yeah, I can't do that shit anymore. That's
Jesus Christ.
jinxed it. And then I
Um,
picked Pauly Shore. I picked fucking Pauly Shore. It's just a bad week for me, man. I don't want to talk.
Well,
about it.
so what I had was you picked Penn State and Johnny picked USC for the upsets.
Oh, that's right, for the upsets. That's right.
Yeah,
I took all Pauly Shore in my quote. for
JC, you're the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
kiss of death, bud.
I am.
Well, I mean, so am I. Let's be completely clear. My upset pick won just fine, but then I was nice enough to pick Johnny's team to win no problem over Stanford. I will always do this shit. So I will gladly take the one loss and get 2 on the win column. So
yeah, I
and then
gotta turn this shit around. TA, you're in the mix.
TA
is in
is
the
holding
mix.
it. He did a good job with Western Kentucky, but you picked Colorado State. That's on you.
Last fucking time I'm betting over.
That's on you, buddy. I told you who the fuck. Where
You
are we
guys
that
have-
you're picking Colorado State?
Do you guys have your picks this week, or is anybody?
That's
ready?
what I'd like to do. I'd like to do that now, just because. Yeah,
Rock
I
on.
think it's very important. But then, yeah, we could possibly talk about Syracuse at some point. I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, we can talk more after this. We'll do our picks. Is anybody ready to pick?
Fuck yeah.
Same.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Oh wait.
well,
is that
TA and JC. I don't know. I don't feel like either of you have gone first in a while. So
Go JC.
All right,
I'll go
well,
last.
I'm gonna steal this bullshit because I got to try and get some fucking points on the board. So I'm gonna take in my guaranteed Tennessee over you, Tennessee Martin. So-
Hey, by the way, I'm
So-
going to be betting the first half of this game. I bet you Tennessee Martin is either winning or within 7.
well, because Tennessee can just bring in anybody out of the crowd and play fucking football. I don't care. They're gonna win. That's my
How many
guarantee.
Tennessee Martin fans do you think were celebrating the Tennessee win?
all of them. I believe the answer is all of them.
Yeah.
All right. So
Oh,
what's
Jesus.
your
Yeah,
upset?
so thank God. All right, so let's get all right. So this is where it gets fun because I'm going to continue talking about this shit for the rest of the show. I'm going to take Syracuse over Clemson. Now,
How much you want to bet? How
now,
much you want to bet? Let's go.
here's the deal.
Let's beg pick slips.
Well, I can't run out of things to talk about for the rest of the show, but I'm taking this as my upset. Okay. We'll see where it goes. I got some other comments for later in the show that have to happen and certain things need to fly. Johnny B's calling them. What did you call them earlier? The biggest
Frauds.
fraud? The biggest fraud?
Frauds.
Okay.
They're the luckiest team in the country. NC
so it's-
State lost their quarterback. Virginia lost theirs in the first half.
I
They're frauds.
will say they have a real test this week. And that's all I'll say for this segment because I have other things to say later. It will be a challenge. It will be a challenge, but I'm going to stick with it because I want to breathe that life into it.
Frauds.
He wants to believe, Johnny.
Frauds.
I do. I'm all about that orange.
Frauds. You take care of the kid. I do the show, okay?
All right. TA, you ready?
Yeah, I suppose. This is going to piss Johnny off because
I don't know how you could possibly piss him off more.
You take Kentucky, you're dead to me.
I'm for my upset. It's going to be Ole Miss over LSU.
A 1.5 point favorite.
Hey, it shrunk from 2.5. Dick, leave me alone.
And it was 2.5 Old Miss, too. It was 2.5 Old Miss on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's a smart business play, Tyler. I like the business decision. That's a good business decision right there.
And yes, I'm calling this as my lock, even though they aren't favored. Kansas State is gonna upset TCU.
Oh, wow. He's going there
I'm
with
going next.
Go
Is
next.
that your lock, Tyler?
His lock was Kansas State.
Mhm.
My okay. So playing off of Tyler, I'm taking Kansas State as my underdog because that was going to be my underdog the entire time.
it. Okay.
I love that pick, Tyler. I think that was absolutely fucking genius. And then my lock is going to be. Did I take Ohio State yet?
Yeah, it's another gimme, isn't it?
Have you
They're
taken Ohio
playing-
State yet?
They're
I
playing
don't-
Little Sisters of the Poor this week too, aren't they?
I'm taking
They
Ohio
are.
State.
They are, but okay.
I don't think I took them.
I don't think so. I think other people. I know.
I'm taking
I
Alabama.
have-
I'm taking Georgia.
yeah, I know. I have taken
I-
Ohio State, but
I have to.
So I'm taking Ohio State and Kansas State.
Mhm.
Tyler, I love that. I love that pick. That was always going to be my upset pick because I actually bet them. Units only
Fucking
go up. Comes
Iowa.
out. Units only go up. Comes out tomorrow. I already put the bet in. It's plus 6.5 for me, and the money line is plus 285. Hammer.
Can
hammer.
we hold on? Can we add a caveat to this? Can we make it to where Iowa has to throw for more than 100 yards? They have to hit triple digits. Can we make? Come on. Yeah.
Wait, I'm just playing my survivor.
I know.
pool really
Listen, I
smart.
know my pick was a gimme. I know my pick is a gimme. I had to.
I'm
go
just
for the
playing my
gimme.
cards smart, baby. Playing them smart.
oh my god! All right, so it's my turn, and I have so many questions. First of all, a shout out to some dynamic fucking showdowns coming up this week that I'm not going to pick with at all because it's upset city versus upset city versus upset city versus upset city. We have James Madison at home against Marshall.
Oh,
They're a 12.5-point favorite, but I would not take that. We have Old Dominion at home against Georgia Southern
Old Dominion favored by 2.
by 2.
Ooh.
Don't bet against Georgia Southern. It'll fuck
Ooh.
you.
It's fucking like holy shit.
The Sun Belt is the best conference. I love the Sun Belt.
It's I'm like, oh my god. Let's see. We've got FAU at UTEP. That one should be very interesting.
Oh, I have Army on my card on Units Only
I
Go Up
think-
coming out
I
tomorrow.
think UTEP
I have
is
Army on my card. Army is on the card against ULM Monroe -6.5. I do have that on the card.
UTEP. I think is actually wearing the Texas Western uniforms this week, so that should be pretty cool.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean, even call out to this useless game that I'm not going to pick. Hawaii at Colorado State. A
You
2-5
go
team
Colorado
versus a 1-5
State,
team.
roll.
At 5, they're only a 5-point favorite, but I
It's a
feel like
fucking
that
bounce back.
Hey,
that
I'm going to
could
say
be
something
that
right
could
now.
be the best uniforms of the
There's
year
one
if they do
game
it
that
right.
I can't read, and you know me, guys. I'm always honest. I can't read this Alabama-Mississippi State game, and hear me out, because Mississippi State probably throws the ball better than Tennessee does. But Alabama coming off a loss, like
At
it's
home.
either a blowout or Mississippi State shocks the world. They're plus 890. I have them on my card. I think for now. I gotta see for them. They're plus
Alabama-
890 to win.
Alabama is a 21-point favorite, yeah.
99 to 1 on the money line. Yeah, but Mississippi State's the kind of team that could knock them off.
It's
Yeah.
it's
It's a
higher
good
than
day.
that. It's 950 now.
If
I got
Leach
that
doesn't
890
screw the pooch.
tonight.
All right. Anyway, I just thought this last week was a great week of football. This may be, especially in the crumbs that Johnny likes to talk about.
in the
This may
crumbs.
be the most fun week.
This is the best week for the Crumbs.
It's a good week in the crumbs. Everything else is very, very
Boise State
fucking
Air Force.
generic.
Fucking
Is it? So okay. You have Ole Miss going to LSU, and that's going to be fucking wild
Oregon,
because
UCLA.
Ole Miss is undefeated and number 7 seed, and yet they're underdogs.
Because they're not that good. I just
They're unranked. No, but think like some of this week it's going to be pretty fucking wild, I think. Anyway, so I say all that to say that my underdog pick, it has to be UCLA.
No. Come on. You
Underdog.
want to fuck everything up.
How? I'm picking an
Because
underdog.
you can't pick. You suck, and you're ruining my season.
I
I
can
love
pick
you,
just
but you
fine,
suck.
fucker.
I love you, but you would never right.
I pick underdogs better than I pick favorites. That's what I fucking do. I picked Illinois last week. Only one to pull off his upset pick.
Just all right. Don't fuck up my fucking.
I can't
You-
believe
hey,
Oregon is a
Rob,
6-point
Rob,
favorite.
if UCLA loses, listen, that's fine. You can pick one. If UCLA loses, I'm gonna write a blog how it's your fault.
I will take it. I only screw over my favorites, which is why I'm trying not to pick Wake Forest over Boston College. I feel like I've already picked Wake Forest over someone.
Yeah, you did. You can't pick them. Stop fucking
Yeah,
up Stop fucking up all my picks for the year.
Fine. I will do it. I will take Texas as my favorite over Oklahoma State.
That's clearly sorry, Jay.
Jesus Christ.
Texas is not back now.
No.
Again, if this has if there's any sort of power,
I guess I'll be betting Oklahoma money line tomorrow now.
OK State. That was such a stupid Big 12 football at its best / worst last
Oklahoma
week.
State forgot how to play defense.
The just unbelievable how fucking bad, but also good that game was.
They just forgot how to play. It's like they
Yep.
just didn't know how to play defense.
Well, and along those same lines, the best and worst of Big 10 football was Wisconsin losing in overtime to Michigan State. I also do not understand what the fuck happened in both those games. Like,
What
I watched
happened
them.
is the Big Ten is probably the worst it's ever been. Because I'm no offense, Tyler. I know it's your conference. I'm not trying to take shots. But when Illinois is your third best team, I mean, come on. Listen, love Chase Brown, love Tommy DeVito, big fans. Love Brett Bielema. They should be like a fourth or fifth best team, maybe at their best. They should never be the third. Never.
They're
They
gonna
should
run
be-
that.
They
They'll
wouldn't
run
be
that
third
fucking
in the
division.
Sun Belt. They wouldn't be the third in the Sun Belt. Like, what are we doing?
They're gonna run that fucking side of the Big Ten and all the way to the conference championship, boys.
They are. I wrote that in the blog this week. The Big Ten power rankings. I had Ohio State, Michigan, Illinois, Penn State, and then I think I listed nobody cares. It's kind of sad that they're just going to be the sacrificial lamb. They're the sacrificial lamb to Ohio State.
I can't wait to just play spoiler to that. That's going to be funny.
What
You think
to?
Nebraska's going to beat them?
We have a
To
bye
Illinois?
week this week. We play Illinois next week.
Are you playing at home or are you playing at Memorial,
Well, I believe it is at
Champaign.
home.
which is called Memorial as well, right?
Yes.
Everybody has a fucking Memorial Stadium.
Yeah. Like half the Big Ten's got fucking Memorial Stadium as their stadium.
This is what I'm fucking talking about. Boring. Boring. Name your stadium something else, God damn it. Pick a different mascot, people. Tigers and Memorial Stadium. Fucking Christ. Anyway. All right, enough of that. So that's that for that week. So what else do you want to do? The 3 Qs, triple Q?
You want to do the triple Qs?
Yes. Let's do the triple Qs.
I'm not
And-
always there when you call, but I'm always on time. I gave you my, so baby, be mine.
So let's have. I think with JC should go first this time.
You're gonna get beat.
All right. I go first. So for my question, it kind of is like an all-encompassing all conferences. It's who implodes first. At this point, we're kind of in a position where we're starting to look at that playoff picture and who might be there. The Pac-12 could bite themselves. The SEC is, I mean, looking at the schedules,
They're at the same
This-
predicament.
this could be the first situation where Alabama might not make it. If you look, I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
It would be
But if-
awesome, but it's not happening.
But if you look at the schedules remaining, Tennessee plays Georgia. So Georgia and Tennessee one team is going to have one loss. Alabama is the only team out of the 3 in a position where they could get a second loss. Maybe. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they face a tougher schedule.
Don't
to
forget
finish
about
it out,
Ole Miss because they're a real team.
right? Fuck those guys.
Thank
So-
you.
They will score a fuck ton
So-
of points, though. I mean, you know they're going to score a fuck
Yeah.
ton of points.
So, it's kind of a situation. Well, I guess if you put that lens on it too, Ole Miss there in the mix. Like it. So what conference implodes first? We're in a position now where one conference is just going to be like, oh shit, toss our hands up and let everybody else duke it out. So that's my question. All right, my QB is going to be Garrett Schrader. I'm gonna go on the Syracuse. This is what I told you. I got some more to go on here. Okay, I'm gonna keep on talking the Syracuse bit. Okay, here's the deal. He has to come out this week. This is why he's my quarterback. He has to show up. All right. Last week against NC State, he threw 2 picks. You cannot do that against Clemson. You can't. So if you guys are gonna be the real deal, you got to show up. You got to play better. You can't let them key in on Tucker. You got to play quarterback. All right. So that's my quarterback. And then my quote is, Orange, you glad I didn't pick Clemson?
Oh, boo. Boo. You are the only, well, you're not the only dad on this podcast anymore, but you have more kids than anybody else. So I guess you own it proudly. I'm honestly really,
Kayla, he's telling bad jokes again.
honestly, I'm surprised that we haven't gotten more dad jokes from JC in the 3 years we've been doing this show.
There
feel like he's
hasn't-
really-
you guys have really opened it up with this quote deal. Like, I mean, yeah, I got Pauly Shore last week. I got this.
Yeah, you
like
did.
I found my groove here.
That's true. That's true. I am going to intersperse. I don't necessarily have to go next if somebody else wants to, but since you bring it up, Fun fact, this is the deepest into a season that an unbeaten Syracuse team has faced another unbeaten team since when? What year?
92.
I think it's even later than that. If we just do over under, I'm gonna say it's over. I think it's
Let's do so over meaning more
Like-
recent season.
no over meaning further. Like
Further back. Gotcha. Okay. TA, what do you think?
I'm gonna say it's like 01, 02. Somewhere in there.
01, 02?
Yeah.
Okay. So JC is correct. It's further back. JC, do you have a guess as to how much further back?
maybe like 87.
A good guess. 87 is the last time that the Orange finished a season undefeated.
Oh, okay.
They were 11-0-1 in that season. However, the last time that a Syracuse team, an unbeaten Syracuse team, has faced another unbeaten team was when they played a 7-0 Penn State on November 7th, 1959.
Jesus.
Wow. Oh, all right.
Syracuse won en route to winning their national championship.
That was like before
Solid.
like Led Zeppelin and the Beatles.
Solid.
Think about
That's
that.
a good fact.
I thought
like
you would
it.
like that.
I like that.
But I know I know their stats. There's no way Syracuse has been in a position like this in a long fucking time. So, and I was right. All right. So I like I said, I don't have to go next. I guess that's technically my question was the fun fact of the day. When's the last time this shit happened? 1959.
Hell yeah.
All right. So my quarterback this week is Spencer Sanders. Because when he shows up for an entire fucking game, Oklahoma State is a very, very difficult team to beat. But he is all over the fucking place. And like, it's not that he slacks off or anything like that. He's sometimes really good and sometimes really bad. If that man makes it to the NFL, I could see him being like fucking Eli Manning, where he's
Tony
just
Romo.
yeah, Tony Romo, where he should not be in a position to do anything, but when he goes off, he fucking goes off, and you're like, wow, we could win the Super Bowl. Or it's like Eli, you actually win the Super Bowl, and the rest of the time, fucking mediocre. Like he has got that kind of like off and on switch.
It's the ceiling.
wild.
It's the ceiling and the floor.
Yeah, it is just wild to watch. Miami should have beaten that man in a bowl game, like under Manny Diaz. That's how bad he played in the bowl game that we played against him. And yet they still thought he played well because he beat Miami in a bowl game like everybody else. All right. And my quote is, gosh, I don't even know what it's going to relate to. I guess the quote is something generic like, what do you do when you hit the mat? Right? Fucking like, let's see how Alabama responds. If it is the Alabama, like we said, they barely lost on a field goal, they got just over the bar, then if this is truly not the end of an era, which I don't think it is, then they will absolutely annihilate the Fighting Mike Leaches. But if they get too bad back-to-back weeks, especially that defense, so that defense doesn't get their fucking act together after 1 week of getting torn apart in practice, then maybe it is the end of an era. So that's my quote. All right. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
My quote: "A loss. We lost. It was a lot of fight. This team put in a lot of work for so long, and I'll be honest, I hate losing. Really, really, I hate it. Just simply so I had little emotion." Caleb Williams said that after they lost to Utah. And he was fucking lying to the press because they deadpanned his ass walking off the field, helmet in his head, lifts it up for a second, realized the camera's there, tears in his face. Liar. Little emotion, my ass. You were balling walking off the field.
Yeah, but you like to see that. That means he's a competitor.
So why does he try to pretend like he wasn't emotional?
Because you don't want because that's what you do. Because he's not a pussy.
Well,
Brady fucking cries. He didn't give a shit.
He'll really, really hate losing since that really killed his Heisman chances.
Tebow cried all the fucking time.
Still won a Heisman though.
And an national championship.
I cry all the time.
Hey,
I feed my kid and I cry. Are you kidding me?
Then my quarterback is
we are not what we call toxic masculinity on the show.
Is Devin,
Well, I can be.
Devin
on
Booker.
TV, Johnny, you can be.
Devin Booker is my quarterback.
Ooh.
And I'd like to give a eulogy to the now talentless / no offensive identity of NC State and how they fucked me 3 times this season. Even though I really should only count 2 because the third one was ECU's kicker still can't kick for shit. But still, they fucked me.
I
I'm
never
kinda-
pick NC State with anything. They're always a fucking loser. They always lose.
And they're now dead to me because they're
Except when they beat Florida State. Anyway,
Their
sorry.
Charleston Southern second stringer sucks. So once they put in their third stringer and he was marginally better and actually converted a third down. But it brings me great joy that NC State is probably going to be going back to being irrelevant to me. Thank fuck.
And you know what? And that's why I don't think Syracuse is any good. Because they only won that game by 3.
No.
They won by more than that.
It was,
24.
11?
20.
no, 7.
Whatever.
It was more. It was like 11.
It was more than that.
Whatever.
It wasn't
Whatever.
Texas beating Iowa State. That's all. I'm gonna say.
Next, my question. This is all going to be in the same game, and it's going to be in Eugene, Oregon.
24-9.
Okay, so you're proud of? Are you proud of that?
15.
No.
Eugene, Oregon.
Not 16-14, Stanford.
Suck a dick. Eugene, Oregon. All 3 of my things. My quarterback is Bo Nix. My question is, will Bo Nix Bo Nix? And my quote is, will Bo Nix Bo Nix?
Bo Nix.
I didn't even get my question, so that's cool.
Oh, I thought you did. My bad.
Before we skip Johnny B props, there's pretty good dad stuff right there.
But all Bo Nix are Bo Nix and said that he will go Bo Nixon.
I just
Love it.
I don't know how that game's going to play out. I hope UCLA wins, but if Bo
I
Nix,
feel
if Bo Nix doesn't Bo Nix, Oregon should win that game by like a touchdown. If he Bo Nixes, they're going to lose by 17.
I
Well,
think
so-
Bo Nix will Bo Nix and DTR will capitalize on him Bo Nixing.
so. My call right now is that it'll be a tale of 2 halves, and I don't know which half it'll be. But one half, Bo Nix will Bo Nix, and then the other half, Bo Nix will Bo Nix.
I love that we can use this as a verb.
And then at
And
the
an
end, to say,
adjective.
"Yo, dog, I heard that you like Bo Nix, so we got Bo Nix for your Bo Nix and the Bo Nix."
We
of the
just
Bo.
use Bo Nix as a noun, adjective, and a verb.
I guarantee, no matter how the game goes, no matter he will Bo Nix.
In one way or the other.
Let's put it this way: it's like a 1 in 1,000 chance that Bo Nix will not Bo Nix. He'll just he'll play fine. He'll put up Will Levis numbers in terms of percentage and his QBR rating, but do nothing with it. Like he'll just be pedestrian at its very best. If he puts up Will Levis numbers where he barely breaks 200 yards on 17 completions, that'll be the most unlikely thing that has ever happened in college football.
Can we talk about that real quick? How are you celebrating a man that throws for 200 yards on 17 completions? I'm going to go back.
All I know is it doesn't matter what the score or the outcome of the game is, or what time the game ends. Come about 1 a.m., he's Bo Nixing all over the place.
All over the- Some poor co-ed's going to get Bo Nix.
Isn't he like 25 now?
Probably.
I feel like that man's pushing 30 at this point, which good for him. Honestly, if I could be his age and still being able to play football, I was doing it until I fucking tore my ACL, but I was not being able to do it in the form and fashion that he gets to do it. So more power to him. But from now on, that is literally a verb. We're going to Bo Nix.
I reckon you probably still played better football by not Bo Mixing than he Bo Mixing.
Do we want to talk about any of the other games? I think we covered most of the games that are coming up too, right? Like, I think
All the big ones. Well, because
All
I
the big
couldn't
ones.
help it. There's so many fun, potentially fun, exciting games, and the Sun Belt Fun Belt will not let us down. I'll
Right.
tell you that right now. They will not let us down. It's going to be a great fucking weekend for that conference, like it is every weekend.
I think we covered a lot of them.
You guys want to do the draft?
Oh yeah,
Actually, my question kind of leads into the draft.
perfect. Whoa! All right.
So my question before we went Bo Nixing was we're halfway through the season. This is unofficially the halfway point.
Yep.
Name your top three coaches that are that you think are on the hot seat right now.
Brian Harsin. Brian Harsin. Brian Harsin.
There it is. I knew he was going to say it 3 times. As soon as he said it immediately, I'm like, just wait. Let's see.
Did you guys see real quick? Dion said that he would take a Power 5 job.
He would consider it. He didn't say he'd take it. They'd spit him out a number and he'd say he'd consider it. I watched that 60 Minutes interview.
He would definitely take it. You know he would.
So, let's see. Head coaches on the hot seat or
Yes.
not head coaches?
Head
Okay.
coaches.
Okay. So I was going to say Manny Diaz.
Penn State's DC there.
Yep. For those of you following along at home, the most recent head coach of Miami Hurricanes until this
So
past
I would
season.
go with Brian Harsin, Mario Cristobal, and Marcus Freeman.
Cristobal is nowhere near the hot seat.
He should be because he's fucking terrible.
I mean, fair, but we literally just hired him. He's going to be here for 5 years.
It's his fault that Josh Gaddis is the OC. So he should take the blame, and it's his fault that he has that moron calling plays.
That's fine. He probably will take the blame, but he's not on the hot seat. That is way, way different from acknowledging he made a
I
mistake.
think Marcus Freeman's on the hot seat.
I think you're right, though he did just convert to Catholicism, so...
Yeah, but then you jinxed him because you're an asshole because you hate Jesus.
I was going to say more along the line.
Touchdown Jesus, maybe. Touchdown Jesus,
Yeah.
maybe, but that's not the same thing.
Not Korean Jesus, just touchdown.
But
Right.
more
Thank
along
you.
the lines of like Kirk Ferentz. I think he's on the hot seat in Iowa because of his massive fuck up of a son.
Yep.
I think
Seen this movie before.
I also think that even though Mel Tucker and his $95 million deal, he hasn't found an identity ever since Kenneth
He's-
Walker left.
He's doing the best thing ever, though. Signing a huge deal and then just sucking so you get fired and still get paid. What a
Mhm.
great... He's doing the Scott Frost method. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It is
And
great.
then-
Great tried and true method.
This one I think is going to be come off the ball, but it's coming from a school that essentially has all the oil money. Jimbo Fisher, and A&M. I think he's on the hot seat too.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I think that's very reasonable. I think that he is on the hot seat. He should be at this point. How do you have as many ridiculously highly rated recruits that you have? And this is not the first season. This is the first season that he beat Alabama to a lot of them, but they've been getting excellent recruits
They've
for
been
many
top
years.
5 in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And yet he underperforms in all of them.
And all of them. It's just that this year is more egregious than normal because there are so many top.
No, like
prospects.
I wrote in my blog on the SEC Power Rankings, what I said about them was amazing talent. You would think that maybe one of the quarterbacks would be halfway decent. If he just had a halfway decent quarterback, he would be fine. And they get great recruits. If you just had a Tommy DeVito-esque quarterback, like
Will Levis.
Even Will Levis type, honestly. Will Levis throwing the ball to those guys would be perfect.
Yeah.
They would actually come back for the ball.
I couldn't help myself. It was right there, man. It was right fucking there.
Again, I'm not a hater of Will Levis.
I know, but it was just like literally Will Levis would take that team to the national championship.
He would.
But on the inverse of that, for our draft, I came up with the freaking brilliant idea of you're sculpting your own program. Pick your head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator.
This is going to be fucking wild. So we should do this in order, right? We should start with your head coach. First round is head coach. Second round is, well, one coordinator, the other coordinator. Like, you wouldn't wait until the third round to pick your head coach, right? Can we all agree with that?
True.
Okay. So let's start with our head coaches.
Who's going first?
I feel like TA should go first. This is a great idea.
Fair.
But unless you don't want to, you get at least dibs if you want to go first.
I would like to take the wraparound if I could.
Lame. Okay. Does anybody want to go first? I mean,
No.
I'll do it. It's fine.
All right,
I'll go first.
Go, Rob.
Nick Saban.
Fuck.
Fuck, would I not take Nick Saban as my head coach?
Fuck.
No,
I
because he's
don't- if I-
old. He's gonna die.
If I don't get to be the head coach, I'm just gonna pick Nick Saban.
No, he's old and he's gonna die.
Yeah, once his fucking deal runs out. I mean, with
Shit.
the devil.
That blew my whole strategy out of the water.
Not today, Saban. All the signs from fucking game day that said "not today, Saban," I fucking lost it. That was so good.
All right, I'm going second.
All right, go ahead.
Taking Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Because listen,
Has his reservations, but
the head coach doesn't coach the team. He coaches his staff, and I will have better staff than all of you.
Except Saban.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I'm going
If somebody
third.
picks somebody from a certain school, I will harass them. They better not pick him.
I don't know where you're going with that, but
I do. I know where he's going, but I don't get to go again before he does.
So
want the wraparound, bitches. Come on now.
okay. So I have two coaches in mind, but I'm going to take a little strategy direction here. Although I'm not picking them this week, I'm going to take Dabo.
You're done. You're canceled. You don't get what?
I think Dabo, even though he's at Clemson,
He's a cult leader.
Yes, he's a great cult leader.
but I think he could be the cult leader anywhere. Put Dabo in Nebraska. Do
No,
it.
Dabo's going to be the next
I
coach
dare-
of Alabama.
I
He
dare.
wants to. That's what he's waiting around for.
Yeah,
But I dare a situation like Dabo in Nebraska. I think Dabo is exactly the right person that can bring recruits in because he's young enough that he can bring recruits in, yet old enough that he's got the best of both old school, new school. And that's why the program is so good. I think he is a solid pick. There is no reason he is not hands down one of the best coaches in the country.
I have a question.
At any school. Put him at any school.
He's a solid pick. I despise him as the head coach. But that is
and I'm the
that's
same.
a philosophical
I'm not,
difference.
right. I'm not like
Yeah,
in
no,
any,
I agree
in
with you.
any other conversation, I would just be like, I don't know if I'm not a Clemson fan. I think I would like Dabo a lot more if he was at another school.
I mean,
I don't know if
Tyler
it's
would like him a lot
Clemson
more
or-
if he was at Nebraska because they probably would be successful.
Fucking A.
Rob, question.
I'd
we
go
have
to
to
that
pick-
church.
Do we have to pick a head coach, or can we pick when we pick offense and defensive coordinators? Can we just pick maybe they're a head coach now?
That's
Yeah, of course.
that's my
Mhm.
strategy.
Of course.
Okay, good. Then you guys are all fucked.
Come on.
Well, like I said, don't get the pick for you, so I know that you're going to get your shot, but I know who you want. All right, TA, go ahead.
I'm going with Ryan Day as my head coach. If
I like
were
that
to
pick.
build
I was
my
gonna think.
program.
I was actually thinking Ryan Day as well, but I went with the man who has a national championship.
I mean,
I picked the guy who was like 6.
Yeah, but he's a million years old.
yeah, he's like 80 almost. But
Matter?
I picked him because I think he's a great people manager, and I think there's a lot of value to
He is
that.
Kirby Smart younger.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of value to actually managing your staff, unlike
Yep.
somebody who gives a fuck or who doesn't give a fuck about their staff.
I love that pick. That was gonna be my pick, but I just picked the older version.
And I'll go for my OC for the wraparound, Steve Sarkisian.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Man, you left it for Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
I am
Right, as
I am
well.
actually stuck in between two.
Yeah.
I love
whoa,
the
whoa,
Stark
whoa,
pick.
whoa, whoa. Yeah. No, wait. Hold on. Who's going next?
Oh,
Yeah,
We're
me.
doing the wraparound. JC is next. I'm
JC
sorry.
is next.
Oh,
Then
me.
it's Johnny. My
Oh,
bad.
me. Okay. All right,
I
I'm gonna
love
go.
the
Sorry,
Sarkisian pick, by the way. I love that pick.
I do too. I do. Great pick.
He's a
So
good
that
offensive
was
coordinator.
he took my number one offensive coordinator pick, so now I got to go a different direction. But my strategy pick here is I'm going to go with a current head coach
Don't fucking do it.
who I would rather put in my organization as offensive coordinator.
Don't fucking do
And
it.
even though
Suck a dick. Don't do
offense isn't really shining great right now, but I still like him as the pick, and I'm going to go James Franklin.
it. Okay. Take him.
Yo, John, I love your reaction.
He was so worried you're going to steal his guy. That's why.
No. I'm going strategy pick here. If I'm going to if I'm trying to pick,
What are you
head coach,
picking? The
offensive
most
coordinator,
fakest
defense-
Christians? You're picking the fakest Christians. Franco and Dabo. They're the fakest Christians in America.
I'm going with guys that can develop and motivate guys, get guys going. A guy that could get Vanderbilt some wins. Okay. I'm just going strategy.
Yeah.
That's all.
That honestly, I love James Franklin when he was with Vanderbilt. Since then,
Not so much at Penn State, right?
He's a fake ass Christian like Dabo. Your team will work out perfectly.
they
Well,
will
I
get
guess-
along. That's the thing.
Let me see if
Staff
I can-
synergy cannot be understated.
Okay. Well,
Facts.
I'm stuck in between two, actually, boys.
Yep.
I'm stuck between the head coach of USC
Yep.
and the head coach of Mississippi State.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ole Miss. I figured you'd love Lane Kiffin as your offensive
I
coordinator.
want Lane Kiffin to be my quarterback's coach so we can go get booze out and like not have to worry about it.
That's who I'd put him as well if I'm building.
Quarterback coach
Well,
would
yeah.
be the best position.
Of course.
Now, I don't know if I want to go with Mike Leach.
I was also thinking Mike Leach.
I'm going to go because of the Heisman winning, because of the national championship winning. Mike Leach can be the quarterback coach with Lane. They can both get drunk together. But I'm going to take Lincoln Riley as my offensive coordinator.
That's interesting.
Okay. I you can't be mad at it, right? Like
No,
the guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The guy produces, and it's like
He produces Heisman Trophy winners. He got national title contending hopes. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
It was either that or Leach for me.
Well, then
See.
it's my pick, right?
Mm, mm.
My back-to-back. So I will, since everybody else took offensive coordinators, right? That was all offensive coordinators. So, okay, then I'll take my offensive coordinator, who is going to be Mike Leach, because that was who I was considering
Good coach.
air raid. Yeah, and I think that, honestly, even though
I
they're
don't
both,
know how him and Saban will act in the locker room together, but good coach.
I was
Yeah,
going to
so
say
that's the thing.
I was going to say the same about yours.
What do you mean?
fair.
Kirby Smart and Lincoln. Kirby will just let him do whatever the fuck he wants as long as he doesn't fuck up. That'd be perfect.
I feel like Saban would let Leach do whatever he wants as well, as long as they put up points.
I guess, but they'd be too busy. I don't know. That's just a clash of huge clash.
It is. Well, but that's the thing is if Saban's like, kind of a control freak, which people believe that he is, then yeah, I think that Leach would add a little bit too much chaos to his locker room. But my next pick, I think would put Saban at ease enough that he says, at least my defense is going to be better than they currently are. And it's weird to say because Brent Venables' defense at Oklahoma is not good right now, but I think that as a defensive coordinator at Alabama, they would be fucking unstoppable. And I think that Saban would be able to sleep at night, even if Mike Leach is his
I'm glad
his
you took it.
coach coordinator.
That's a good pick.
Good pick.
I couldn't believe how many times Oklahoma's defense didn't even have the right guys subbed in. I was like, man.
I don't think it's him. I think it's the staff around him because he didn't.
No, I know. I think he's going to clean house.
Remember, he couldn't bring a lot of his guys with him because they're
Right.
all still at Clemson.
Right. No, I know. That I'm saying, like, I think he's going to fucking clean house this year because it was wild to see the lack of, again, just discipline, just subbing guys in and out, just not being prepared at all. So, yeah. So I love Man, if Venables was with fucking Saban instead of Dabo, whew, this wouldn't even be a contest.
Well, I just won the draft, as I do all the time. I win every one. I'm taking. I mean, this is an obvious pick. If you guys don't know who I'm taking, then you're crazy. I'm taking Jim Knowles. It's obviously Jim Knowles. It was always Jim Knowles. I mean, have you seen how Ohio State actually learned how to play defense again? So now you're telling me I have Kirby Smart as my head coach. I have Lincoln Riley as my OC, and Jim. How do we lose a game? Special teams doesn't count. It doesn't matter.
Until it gets returned
Jim
109
Knowles
yards.
was a fantastic pickup for Ohio State. They're actually back to
He is.
they're grittier. They're more blue collar in Ohio State. They're learning how to fucking play defense again up there, and I love Jim Knowles. Oklahoma State under Jim Knowles always had a great defense, and now look at them. Now they forget how to play in the second half.
But
Give me
that's
Jim
every
Knowles.
Big 12 team ever.
Yeah.
No, but Oklahoma State always had a good defense.
They always had it for a Big 12 school. Yes, 100%. I 100% agree with that. I think Jim Knowles is a great pick. Like I said, I just think Venables can do it better. But as a defensive coordinator specifically. All right, so that means JC, you're up.
All right. So I'm going to complete this staff.
Who's the next fake
Similar
Christian?
fashion.
Let's go.
Please pick
Next
him.
fake. Yeah, you might be able to make. So I'm going to take.
He's gonna pick Gary Patterson and go all Christian.
No, I'm going to take Army's defensive coordinator Nate Woody.
Who?
Is he
Who?
fake Christian?
Who? So has kept Army with, and we all know the situation with Army, right? As a coach, it's challenging because you don't get the best athletes.
You don't get the
You get
300
good
athletes.
athletes. You don't get all those guys. They're maintaining approximately 14 points a game scored against. Pretty good for Army. Okay. I think he's got, if he can operate in that atmosphere and he's having success with the other two guys
You're
that I
saying with
mentioned,
big recruits that he could be.
I
something
think
bigger.
right, and I think that because I'm going for the mesh, and I think all of us kind of maybe took a similar approach. Your head coach, offensive coordinator, you all got to be able to blend in here, and I think that he would fit in the mix nicely with Dabo and Franklin, and it would make a very nice dynamic there in the locker room.
Let's see.
I like it.
Defensive coordinator at Wofford for 12 years. Then
He doesn't have big titles. He doesn't have a big history.
No, well, but I mean, he's defensive coordinator at Appalachian State for 5 years, 4 years.
defensive
5 years.
analyst at Michigan.
Defensive analyst at Michigan before he had taken over at Army. He was the defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech for a year. I like it.
So, I mean, the credentials are, all right. But to come into Army, all right, given this situation there and have success to have that defensive performance, I think I like what he brings to the table for what I'm trying to do with that staff.
And there's something we said. It doesn't seem like he has, big ego or anything like that. Like, there's definitely, that's the issue with the staff I've chosen, is the potential clash of personalities. So I agree. So TA, you're the last one, my friend.
This defensive coordinator will have a failed stint as a head coach at this point, but we get him back to doing his bread and butter at being a D coordinator, and it's Jim Leonard at Wisconsin.
Love that pick.
Finished
I do love Jim Leonard.
out of his 5 seasons at Madison, finished 4 in the top 5 and forced 112 turnovers.
Yep, I love it. I mean, we could do a different one, but this would be more up, I think, my alley of looking at people who have not been head coaches yet, kind of along the lines of JC's pick, and seeing who we'd want to try and either promote to a head coach or bring to, our program, whatever. That would take a little more digging, but I love
And my special teams coach, just so you know, I would want Jamie Chadwell.
Jamie Chadwell.
That would be
I would pay him like a
I
head
had-
coach.
I had Chad Staggs on my list, and that was purely just because it's a badass name. And he doesn't even look like a Chad Staggs.
I can picture what Chad Staggs looks like, and yeah.
And it's not Chad Staggs.
It's not that. Yeah. All right.
Tyler, I
Well,
love that draft. That was a great draft.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just thought of it off the top of the noggin there.
Well, here's the other thing: is are we thinking that our coaching staff would be taking over at a specific university, or this is any university? This is
I
food for thought
framed
in the
it.
future.
I framed it as you're an AD out of school and you got and you got almost unlimited budget to fill
Right.
this.
Well, I pretty much picked like Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Miami money.
That was the frame. At least you're an
Well-
AD. You have X amount of money, and that's wildly accepted.
Right, but I mean,
I
I'm
could
thinking more of
see-
what program are they what program
like
in
it.
what state are they currently taking over?
I
You know
like
what
that
mean?
follow up.
I mean, mine can go anywhere because I'm not worried about it.
And I feel the same way. Right? Is that you take my three guys, you put them anywhere, as long as they don't kill each other, they will be highly, highly successful.
And then you also got to really think of like the meshing of it, irregardless of how much they're getting paid.
Yeah,
Rob,
because
I'm
like
not gonna
how
lie,
much?
yours kind of does sound like an Alabama team. Tyler, yours sounds like a Big Ten team.
Yep.
JC, yours sounds like a Group of Five team, and mine sounds like an ACC/Pac-12 team.
See, I could
Pac-12 for
see,
sure.
I could see mine going into like a Penn State and revamping Penn State.
I was gonna say Appalachian State. That's really what I was gonna say.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah, you could do something like that with a program like that, but
Or maybe
I could see
Arkansas. Arkansas. That would be a
Yeah.
perfect Arkansas
I-
coach. staff.
neat, fun times.
Now put Tabo at fucking Coastal. See how long it takes for them to push for a national championship.
I think Missouri, Arkansas.
Missouri would be good.
Any of the teams right now that are struggling with identity and recruiting,
Yep.
it would be a non-issue, and it
Missouri,
would completely change the trajectory. of
South
the program.
Carolina.
The last place that I would put my three coaches in is at University of Miami.
Florida State. I would put mine right at Miami.
Yeah, oh yeah, you would. You would in a
Mine would
heartbeat.
fit in perfectly at Miami.
Yeah, you would in a heartbeat. I don't know if Kirby could handle it, but it's fine. I think
Lincoln
everybody
Riley
else
with
would
that
do.
talent in Miami as offensive
Yeah,
coordinator.
yeah, Link. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if Kirby would be able to handle it, but he'd at least be able to manage the staff who would have a good time.
Tyler, yours sounds like a great Wisconsin. Or
I was thinking,
Michigan.
I was thinking more of like if I'm at Kansas and I didn't do what Lance Leipold did, what would I,
I like
have
that.
to do?
or Kansas State. I think that would be a good fit for that.
I miss Bill Snyder so much. Anyway, a complete different aside. So let's call it here because we are definitely over an hour.
Oh yeah.
So you want to do it first, Johnny?
Of course, I want to do it first. I always do it first. Listen, I'm 35 and 20. I'm your wifey's favorite gambler, your baby mama's favorite bookie. Units only go up. I will have Tyler on the show tomorrow. He will give me his picks. He is no longer banned. 35 and 20.
I
Let's
got
go.
over
3 and
50
6 last week.
today.
We're going to hit it hard. All I do is win, win, win no matter what. I bring the heat. I bring the noise. I tell you what's going to happen. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Gridiron Heroics. I am the man. I am the legend. All I do is win. Let's go. Let's grow.
Also, TA, stop picking NC State.
Oh, that's a given, bud. But
Is it?
I went 50%. Last week, 7%.
That's why you're not banned anymore. Tyler's no longer banned on Units. You can give me his picks tomorrow. He'll be on Units Go Up tomorrow. Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, I might be expanding real quick. I don't know if you guys are interested. Probably not. I want to do a spiked college basketball show. Don't have to do it. I would like to continue doing basketball because, honestly, I love my kid. I love my wife. It's beautiful, great family. I need to get away. And I love college basketball, and I want to gamble on college basketball and talk about college basketball. It's very interesting to me. Fuck Kentucky. I hate you. Will Levis sucks. Or he doesn't even play basketball. But I would like to talk about basketball as well, so we'll continue that on. Go ahead, whoever's next.
Got to ask Tone. All right. So, as usual, if you like the graphics, you like the fun, cool, creative things that we do on this show, They're all courtesy of Cosmic Dino Productions. And we'll, of course, have a link in the description to go check out our merch. And we're trying to cook up some fun stuff. I got the schematics over to the wizard and see if she can do something, JC, with with your ideas.
Nice.
She said, and I quote, "That's really cool." So
Solid.
if it piques her interest, yeah, we'll be rolling this shit out. Well, I don't know how soon, but we'll be able to do some cool stuff with that stuff. Anyway,
I like it.
so if you like
Cool.
stuff, come and check it out.
Very good.
Go ahead, JC.
JC.
All right. Yep. All right, guys. Outback Buck Shack, outbackbuckshack.com. Hit us on Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're even on TikTok, so check us out there as well. Some just great content,
Interesting.
funny stuff, and so we're still in the middle of the season. Always trying to end up killing deer while I should be watching football, but priorities. I'll be in Colorado next week, so look for some things in the social media related to the Colorado trip. And then I'll always go to outbackbuckshack.com for American-made products and gear. And that's it. Take it up back.
Sweet. And TA, last but not least.
Iron
There it is.
Ostrich Network. You got my show, The Anomalies. We're taking a week off since JJ's in Disney hell. You got
Disney hell. Oh,
Yeah.
with the family.
yeah. He had to literally drive 13 hours from Indy to Orlando, Florida, and is in Disney purgatory. In other words, he's getting drunk and popping gummies when the kids go to bed.
God bless America.
Yeah, God bless America. Disney's fun, but not when you have to drive 13 fucking hours.
Now with children.
And have two kids that don't quite frankly.
Also that, but to drive 13 hours with said children just to go to Disney, dear Lord.
I'd rather get my balls taken off.
Sad fact, he has to drive back. Anyway,
Yeah, there it is. I was like, I figured he wasn't going to leave the fucking car there. Jesus Christ.
got realizations, Marco and Breeze, get your health fucking better. You got Tone and Gems with Off the Rails. Their new episode is coming out Thursday, I'm told. Then you got us, lovely people at Spiked, for the college football show. And if we want to expand and do the basketball show, we don't have to use the same feed. We'll get a new feed. We'll get a Spiked basketball feed.
Hey,
I love
here we go.
And then we got Units Only Go Up, which I'm no longer banned because I actually went over 50% this back.
Yeah, Tyler. And he won't. And if he bets on NC State ever again, he's banned for life.
No, and I don't blame him. I can live with that. But follow us on the Twitter, Iron Ostrich on Twitter, and then do it and subscribe to the feeds and YouTube's shit. Bye.
And Kentucky fans, come at me, bro. Come at me on the Spikes page. Let's go. I got you. I got you.
I was trying to put it back on there. There we go.
By the way,
Anyhow,
fuck Kentucky, fuck Michigan, fuck Syracuse.
and as always, people, have a good week.
Fuck Ole Miss.
Keep it spiked. Boom.